Disclaimer: it was a fanfiction story created by me. Please don't take it seriously. There is no match in this story and real life.
At the wedding day. Finally, the wedding day had arrived. Only a little time was left now for one's wait to end. She had been waiting for this day with so much excitement because today the love of her life was going to be hers forever. But on this day, full of happiness, suddenly the smile on her lips turned into sadness because she was missing her best friend a lot. If Jungkook was here right now, who knows how happy you would have been after seeing her ready as a bride. He would have praised her endlessly, claimed his rights on her like always, right? These were the thoughts running in her mind. She misses him deeply every single day, but she doesn't want to come between Jungkook and Maria. That's why she never says anything. After so many breakups, Jungkook had finally found a girl, someone he truly loves. So how could she become a hurdle in her best friend's relationship? Even if she wanted to, she simply couldn't do anything. Actually, it wasn't Wayne's fault at all. Whenever she called Jungkook, he used to say, "I am spending time with Maria right now," and because of that, she never said anything more. She stayed silent. Wayne was now fully ready. She wore her bridal veil. Just then her little brother came into the room. Excitedly, Wayne looked at him and asked, "Wayne, how do I look? Do you think the Hyung will like it?" Wayne's brother, "Yes." His voice trembled, seeing her brother so stressed and shuddering. Wayne also got nervous and asked him, "Wayne, what happened, Joel? Why do you look so worried, Joel? None of the Hyung's parents are downstairs." Hearing that, Wayne's breath quickened. A strange fear started to grip her heart. At this moment, when they were supposed to be in the church, why were they here instead? That thought alone made her hands and feet start trembling. With great difficulty and gathering all her courage, she slowly began walking downstairs step by step. When she reached down, she saw Jungkook's friends crying, and her mom was lying on the sofa unconscious, and her father was trying to wake her up in panic. Seeing everyone in such terrible state, Wayne's face became pale in fear. She rushed towards her dad and asked with a trembling voice, "Wayne, Papa, what's happening? What happened to Mom? And why is everyone crying like this?" she asked, panicking in tension. "Papa, he just kept crying, unable to say a word. Even after asking many times, when no one told her anything, she finally lost her patience. She stood up and shouted, 'Wayne, will someone please tell me what is going on here?' That's when Jungkook's dad came in front of Wayne. He lowered his head, joined his hand, and spoke with tears streaming down his eyes. "Dad, if possible, please forgive me, daughter. I am so ashamed. I wanted to take you home as my daughter, but I couldn't even protect your happiness." He broke down crying. Wayne, "Uncle, what are you saying?" Teary eyes. "Dad, daughter, there's no news about the Hayu. Where he went, why he went, what he is doing. We don't know anything. Since morning we have been looking for him everywhere, but we still haven't found him. We searched every single place in the city, but he's nowhere. Even his phone is unreachable. He might have run away." The last few words from him came out shakily. He wasn't just heartbroken, he was also deeply ashamed, and that's why Wayne's father was crying so much and her mother had fainted. How could they bear to see their only daughter break like this? They knew very well what society does to a girl when the groom runs away on the wedding day. People start gossiping and throwing taunts. They make the girl's life a living. How could her parents watch their daughter go through such a thing? Thinking of all this, her mother had collapsed. Wayne was completely shocked after hearing Jungkook's dad's words. Her sense almost left her and she collapsed to the ground as if all life had drained from her body. Her eyes wide open in disbelief, her lips slightly parted but no voice coming out. She wasn't saying anything, not even reacting, just sitting there lifeless. Her hands trembled on her lap, but she didn't even realize it. Her breathing slow and shaky, as if her heart was refusing to beat properly. Seeing her like that, Jungkook's mom quickly rushed to her side and held her face gently with both hands, lightly tapping her cheeks. She said, Wine, my child, look at me. Wine, everything will be okay. We are here with you. But she didn't react at all. Just kept sitting there like a lifeless doll. Jungkook's mom tired a lot. She kept speaking softly, tapping her cheeks gently, hoping for even the slightest response. But Wine gave nothing. No anger, no tears, no breakdown. Not even a single drop rolled down from her eyes, as if her soul had frozen inside her, as if her heart had shattered so silently that even pain forgot to scream. Many people must have heard one thing in their life. If you are angry and you shout or fight or express it in any way, your anger cools down just like that. If you are deeply hurt or heartbroken and you cry, your heart feels lighter. But if you don't react at all, if you keep that anger only inside your heart, if you hide that pain and don't even shed a single tear, then that becomes dangerous, right? Because then a person becomes mentally very unstable. There's a high chance of falling into even bad thoughts can come into the mind, and even in the middle of all this, there are always some people in society who never miss a chance to taunt. No matter what happens, the family kept hearing all sorts of things from the guests. Their house was filled with people, and why would it be? She was their only daughter, and they had planned a grand wedding. Many people had been invited. How could they have known something like this would happen? But even after hearing so many harsh comments, she wasn't reacting at all. Just then, the front door burst open and Jungkook came rushing in, stumbling as he entered and looking at his face, and it was clear he had run all the way there. He was breathless, and pain and guilt were written all over his face. Actually, he had no idea about what had happened. He hadn't even planned to attend the wedding, because watching his love go far away from him like that, it was too painful. That's why even on this day, he had made an excuse about an important business meeting and left. But after seeing Wine in such a condition, her younger brother called Jungkook and told him everything and asked him to come there. As soon as his eyes fell on Wine and he saw her condition, tears welled up in his eyes too. How could someone do this to such an innocent and sweet girl? He was extremely angry at his own brother, the best friend whose eyes he never even let shed a single tear. Today his own brother had brought her to this state. He quickly walked over to Wine, moved everyone away from her, and knelt down in front of her. Without touching her, he softly and lovingly called out her, "Jungkook, my love." And once again, shocking everyone, the moment Wine heard Jungkook's voice, she looked at him, but not just looked. What no one else could do, despite all their efforts, Jungkook's voice did it. The second she saw him, she broke down completely. She rushed into his arms, clung to him tightly, and began sobbing uncontrollably, as if she had finally found the only place where her pain could spill freely. Her cries echoed with all the heart, the betrayal, the heartbreak she had buried inside. And Jungkook, he just held her silently, letting her tears flow into him, as if he wished he could take every drop of her pain away. Jungkook also pulled her into his arms tightly and shut his eyes with pain, clenching his fist hard, because Wine's crying was tearing his heart apart from inside. But he also understood that right now Wine needed to cry, otherwise her heart would feel light. After crying for a while, when Wine calmed down a bit, Jungkook gently caressed her back and said, "Jungkook, don't waste your precious tears on someone who doesn't even know their value." Just then, Wine's papa also came close to her and trying to give her courage and said, "Papa, my sweet daughter, Jungkook is right. That person never even deserved you. So don't hurt yourself so much for someone like him." By now, Wine's mom had also regained consciousness. That's when Wine tightly clenched her fist, beat down hard on her lips, and shut her eyes tightly. Just to stop herself from crying, but no matter how much she tried, her tears won't stop falling. That's when Jungkook truly realized that Won wasn't crying just because of what happened to her. She was also breaking down because of the things people were saying, because now voices from the crowd started reaching his ears. Voices whispering things like, "Poor girl, her groom ran away on the wedding day itself. There must be something wrong with her. Otherwise, why would a perfectly good boy run away after promising marriage?" I had a feeling from the beginning that something was off in this marriage. I mean, he was a prince living in a palace, and she is just a simple girl from a middle-class family. That's when Jungkook stood up in anger and shouted, "Jungkook, shut up everyone. If I hear even one more word from anyone's mouth, then you all already know what I am capable of." At that moment, Won's mom came in front of Jungkook crying and spoke angrily. Won's mom, "You Jungkook, how many mouths will you shut like this? Today it's one, tomorrow it will be someone else. All those who are saying this today, it's all because of your brother, because of him, Won, and we have to face this painful day. My daughter will have to suffer this pain all her life. She will have to hear bitter words and taunts from people, all because of your brother. I will never forgive him for this." Won's mom was shouting in anger, and Jungkook was silently standing there with his head down, listening to everything quietly. After all, what could he even say? Everyone was suffering today only because of his brother. Just then, Won, still crying, spoke to her mom. "Won, Mama, what did Jungkook do wrong in this? Why are you getting angry at him?" Won's mom, "Then what's your fault in all this that you have to suffer like this? Yes, I know Jungkook is not to blame for any of this, but Taehyung is his brother, right? And after what he did to you today, what will happen to you now? Will you keep listening to such harsh words from people your whole life? What about your future? After everything that happened today, it will even be hard to find a marriage proposal for you. Which family would want to connect with us after hearing all this? Who will marry you?" Her words were bitter, but she was true. She was Won's mother. Obviously, she would be angry and in pain because she knew how difficult Won's life could become after this incident. But after hearing her words, Won's father got angry and shouted at her, "Won's papa, stop it now. What are you saying right now? Our daughter needs us, and you are blaming Jungkook for all this. What did he even do wrong in all this?" Won's mom, "What did I say wrong? It's because of his brother that our daughter is facing all this today. Now in this condition, who will marry her? Who will become her life partner when the whole world is only blaming her? Jungkook, I will marry her, and I will do it right now in front of everyone. I will be her life partner, the answer to her sorrow." Saying this, Jungkook held Won's hand, pulled her along, and made her sit in the car with him. Then he drove straight towards the church. Won's parents, Jungkook's parents, everyone tried to stop him, but he didn't listen. Won tried to make him understand. She got angry at him, gave him emotional promises. She did everything she could to convince him, but it was as if Jungkook couldn't hear a single word. Even after 1,000 attempts to stop him, he didn't stop. He directly took Won to the church and stood in front of the priest and said, "Jungkook, get us married right now, this very moment." Won, "No." Then Jungkook grabbed Won by the back of her neck, pulled her towards him, and looked deep into her eyes as he said, "Jungkook, I am warning you, Won. If you say no, then mark my words, I will disappear from your life and this entire world in such a way that it will feel like I never even existed." Won got scared after hearing his words, because honestly, who was left in her life now except Jungkook? Maybe even Taehyung disappear won't hurt her as much as losing Jungkook world. And she knew one thing for sure, when Jungkook says something, he means it. He always does what he says, and this marriage, he was doing it only for her, just so she won't have to face shame, so people won't throw taunts at her, so she won't suffer alone. Jungkook was ready to do anything for her, but still, there was one thing that was not right in this. In the middle of all these sudden tragedies, one had completely broken down emotionally. Pain, sorrow, pressure, nervousness. They had drowned her so deep that she forgot something important. The friend who was marrying her to save her dignity. He had a girlfriend, someone he deeply loved, but it's still for Wayne he was taking such a big step, because when it comes to Wayne, Jungkook doesn't remember anyone else anyway. Just then, the priest spoke. Priest, do you, Jeon Jungkook, take Park Wine to be your lawfully wedded wife, to live with her in sickness and health, in good times and bad, until death? Jungkook, yes I do, he said without any emotion. Priest, and do you, Park Wine, take Jeon Jungkook as your lawfully wedded husband? She looked at Jungkook once. He was already looking at her, like his eyes were saying, "You know what I can do." Seeing that, Wine lowered her gaze. She didn't want to lose her dearest friend at any cost. Then, with a soft voice and little hesitation, she replied, "Wine, yes, priest, I now pronounce you husband and wife." Then priest announced them as husband and wife, and with a soft smile he turned to Jungkook and said, "Priest, now you may, your bride." One's breath got stuck in her throat. Her eyes, already tired and filled with emotion, suddenly went wide. Her heart started beating very fast. Even though this was only a ritual, her heart wasn't ready for it, because this marriage wasn't a fairy tale. It was a decision made out of helplessness. Jungkook slowly turned and looked at Wine. There was a deep silence between them, but in that silence there was care, there was respect, and something unsaid, something only Jungkook could see in her eyes. He didn't want to hurt her more. He didn't want to force anything on her, not after what she had already suffered. So very gently he moved closer and softly placed a warm on her forehead. That wasn't about rituals. It was about protection, about comfort, about silently saying, "You are safe with me now." Wine slowly closed her eyes, not because she was shy, but because this wasn't just friendship anymore. The person standing in front of her wasn't just her best friend now, he was her husband too. This wasn't love, this was destiny, but not the one written by God. It was destiny written by humans. This was her pain, and in that pain, he became her only shelter. He stepped back slightly, his eyes fixed on her the whole time. No smile, no celebration. At that same time, everyone reached the church. Jungkook's parents, Wine's parents, and all the others. Maria was also with them. Actually, Maria wasn't planning to attend this wedding either, only because of Jungkook. But when she somehow found out that Taehyung had run away without getting married, she decided to come, just to act like she cared about Wine, while actually planning to taunt her. But the moment she reached Wine's home, she got to know that Jungkook had forcefully taken Wine with him to the church to marry her. As soon as she heard that, she was completely shocked. Like everyone else, she also rushed to the church in a hurry, but she arrived too late. Maria, crying loudly, Jeon Jungkook. Seeing her, Wine finally realized her friend belonged to someone else. What had she done? She snatched someone else's love just to save her own life, just to avoid society's taunt. Tears began to flow again from her eyes. She stood helplessly, staring at Maria, and Maria, burning in anger, walked up to Jungkook, grabbed his collar, and shouted at him. Maria, why did you do this to me? If you always wanted to marry her, then why did you even keep a relationship with me? You always acted like we are just friends in front of everyone. Was this the kind of friendship you both had? In the end, you betrayed me. How could you do this to me, Jungkook? Before doing all this, did you not think about me even once? You are a traitor. I hate you, Jeon Jungkook. I hate you. Never show me your face again. She screamed through her tears and ran away from there. Jungkook stood frozen, head bowed. When Wine saw that Jungkook didn't even react after everything Maria said, she herself ran after Maria, calling out to her, "Wine, Maria, please wait. Just listen to me, please." They had both come out of the church by now. Hearing Wine's voice, Maria stopped and turned around angrily. "Maria, what do you want from me now? You already stole my love. I thought you were so innocent, but you took away the person I loved the most. You used to call him your best friend, right? And now you have married your best friend." Maria's words felt like thorns piercing Wine's heart. Still, she tried her best to explain. "Wine, Maria, it's not like what you are thinking. Not at all. This marriage was just a helpless decision. You know how much Jungkook cares for me. He saw my condition and that's why he agreed to this marriage. Please don't worry. There's nothing between us. In just a few days, I will leave and leave this city far behind. Just don't break your relationship with Jungkook." Maria. Oh really? Wow, you both were so helpless, weren't you? Go tell that nonsense to someone else. Today you both got married in the name of helplessness, and tomorrow when you spend your night, you will say that was helpless too. Just then a loud landed on Maria's cheek. She was startled and looked up in shock. It was none other than Jungkook. Maria, burning with anger, shouted, Maria, how dare you? Jungkook, if you say one more word to Wayne, I swear it won't stop at this love. I will make you disappear from this world. You know very well that when it comes to Wayne, I forget who is standing in front of me. Still, you dare to say all this to her? Wayne, shut up, Jungkook. She is absolutely right from her side. Because of me, there is so much tension between you two. I am the reason behind all of this. Maria didn't have the courage anymore to say anything else against Wayne, so instead she angrily turned to Jungkook and said, Maria, congratulations on your wedding. I am breaking up with you. Saying this, Maria stormed off in anger. Wayne called out to her several times, but Maria didn't even look back once. Then, standing right there, Wayne began to cry, blaming herself, hating herself, thinking how her presence destroyed her friend's relationship. Seeing her like this, Jungkook walked up to her, gently held her face in his hands and said, Jungkook, don't cry, Wayne. Everything will be okay. Always remember one thing, no matter how good we are, no matter how hard we try not to hurt anyone, unintentionally, we still end up becoming the villain in someone's life. Wayne, crying, why did you say that to her? Look, she broke up with you and left. You love her so much. What will happen now? Jungkook, nothing will happen, my love. You are with me, by my side. That's all I need. And if you are feeling guilty thinking she got angry and left me because of you, then don't. Her anger won't last long. You will see she will come back on her own. And even if she doesn't, I will go and talk to her and make her understand, okay? Wayne nodded, but her eyes were still filled with tears. Just then, Wayne and Jungkook's parents came over to them and said, Wayne's papa, son, I can understand that you married Wayne to save her dignity, to protect her from the world's taunt. But now, what will you do? Because you love someone else, right? Jungkook, please trust me, uncle. But I can never hurt Wayne. Even if I have to spend my whole life like this, I will accept it. Wayne's papa, I am fully sure that you will keep my daughter happier than I ever could. But still, Jungkook, don't you also have a life of your own? Jungkook, my life is your daughter. Hearing such a reply, Wayne's father had no words left to say. He felt silent. Then Wayne's mom spoke. Wayne's mom, son, whatever I said to you earlier, I said it in anger. I am not mad at you, but I am angry at your brother. Still, if Wayne ever suffers because of you again, I won't be able to bear it. Jungkook, auntie, tell me one thing honestly. Do you really think she could ever suffer because of me? On this, Wayne's mom just gave a small smile and shook her head, saying no. Then Jungkook's dad spoke. Dad, I am proud of you, my son. Today, not only did you protect our family's honor, but you also give this girl a new life. He gently caressed Wayne's head with affection. Then Jungkook's mom spoke. Mom, alright, you of talking now. Everything had fallen apart, but God made it all right again. Let's not talk about the past anymore. My poor daughter-in-law has been standing here for so long. She must be tired. Come on, take her home now. I have wanted to make this girl my daughter for so long. Finally, my prayers have been answered. She said this with a warm smile. Among all of them, only Jungkook's mom was truly happy despite everything that had happened, as if this was exactly what she had wanted all along, as if she had always wished for Wayne to become her daughter-in-law, but not as Taehyung's wife, as Jungkook's wife. Everything that happened today felt like the fulfillment of her long-held wish. Finally, Wayne got married to Jungkook, just like his mom had dreamed. She had already made up her mind. No matter what happens now, she won't let Jungkook and Wayne ever be separated. Her words brought soft smiles to everyone's face except Wayne and Jungkook.